Errol Spence. So I've been saying some questionable things over there, man. And he don't sound too confident. It's been a lot of couple PBC fighters that ain't cashed out. Yeah, it don't surprise me none, bro. I mean, I don't know how vocal I would be about my lack of confidence, because the liquid sword, the tongue, is very powerful. It's a very powerful weapon. I just think people don't understand how powerful it is. Don't speak about, certain things. Don't speak them into existence. If I'm being honest, there's certain things that I wouldn't speak into existence. I wouldn't. It's just, if I feel like retired, man, we not about to talk if or waver about this. No, like if we feel like he ready, and I feel like they should have been honest with him in camp. In pre-camps he was having, we need a tune-up. Or, hey, man, I don't think this is going to be it, man. He said, my family don't want me to do it, and they don't. I feel him on that. And sometimes you got to do things as a man. Sometimes you got to do things that you don't want to do, or people don't understand why you're doing it. You got to do them. You got to do them. But in general, for him, I feel him. Like, it's just some things you got to do. But us talking, if he retiring, this might be his last fight, or maybe 3 fight max, and we don't know what's gonna happen after this. And I'm like, bro, like we in the moment. If we ready, bro, we ready. We speaking with confidence. And this could be the overplay for the underplay for real. This could be the overplay for the underplay for real. They could just be saying this and saying that, and people say, I think Spence is done and Spence is cooked, and he just going over there for a payday. You know what I'm saying? And you can read into that, but maybe they tricking people. Maybe they tricking you. Honestly, maybe it's trick bag.
Man, I'm excited.
One thing I know about you is this is extracurricular stuff that you could do without. That's one thing I know about you. But what I feel, and I want to know this about you, like, have you matured? Is this something that you're more welcoming to now, or is it just like, nah, get it out of my face?
Nah, man, I dread it every time. Like, It's something that I do not like to do. If I could just fight, I just fight. Like, I really don't care for all this kind of stuff, but I know you got to do it. So, I'm here for it. I don't complain about it. I just do it, but I don't like it at all.
You said that you didn't mind coming to Australia to fight Tszyu. You wanted to go to Australia to fight Tszyu. Coming to Australia, being here now, how does it feel to be in Australia?
It feels good, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Australia, is because I wouldn't have to do that many interviews. Because I know if I'd have fought in Dallas, man, I'd have been doing 1,000 interviews. I'd have been doing Dallas Morning News, all over the place, doing shows. So I knew my first fight back, I wanted to come back and fight probably overseas somewhere, to where, the only time I do interviews really is fight week. So, it's been good, and, I'm happy being in Australia. Australia's been dope. The people have been great, and I'm just ready to put on the show.
There's a curiosity about you, though, in a foreign country. Obviously, your reputation was worldwide. You weren't just an American star. You were a global star. So, coming here to Australia, how have you been received so far? Obviously, because like I said, when a champion like you going overseas, it's a treat for them, for these fans, too. Yeah, they have their guy, they have Tim, but it's also a treat to be able to see a fighter of your level come over to their country. How have you been received so far?
I've been received great, man. I've been getting treated real good. The people have been treating me good. A lot of the Aborigines been treating me real good too. Like, they've been showing a lot of love. So I almost think I'm one of them. So they've been showing me a lot of love and a lot of appreciation, man. It's been dope, man. I'm excited.
So, for people who don't know, the Aborigine people, people that was talking about putting smoke in his face. People who don't know the history of Australia, those people were the original people, the ambiguous people. I said that right. The indigenous people of Australia, excuse me. The indigenous people of Australia was black, and some believe that genocide was practiced against them, and they try to bury them. So that's why Errol Spence is like rocking with them. They're the indigenous people of Australia were black. So I think a lot of I spoke on this through the years from time to time. I spoke on it. You know what I'm saying? I spoke on it from here to here, man. For people who haven't spoke on it before, them indigenous people were black, and those are the people they're trying to push them out and, you know, just trying to turn their water off completely. The last few of them is left. So I rock with the fact that he's rocking with those people because they are the original people of that land, right? But I call cap on oh, I didn't want to do them. I don't really understand. I mean, when you fighting, I get it. You don't want to make weight, you know, you can't make weight and all that, you know, you got to make weight. Your energy level is fluctuating and stuff. But you know, when that fame is gone for most people, probably not named like Michael Jordan, he really hated it. But most of the time, when that fame is gone, bro, when that fame is gone, it's gone. You know, they should embrace the media, bro. They should embrace doing media. You know, I know it's a grind, but guess what? You got to promote your own fight. So I really don't understand why. You get to talk about boxing, answer a couple questions, and, you know, be done with it. But they don't want to do the media work, and then they wonder why the check be short. You know, you're a 1099 employee. Your job is to market yourself and do your thing. But do I believe that's why he didn't fight in Dallas? No, he fought over there for the chili. The chili was so great. The Australian government probably stepped in, put some money up. He fought for the chili. And I just don't understand why these fighters just lie so much. They lie about shit that they shouldn't even have to lie about. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I came over here for the money, and or I came over here because I just wanted to come over here. Man, please. Ain't no nigga trying to go to Australia. Trust and believe me, bro. Go look at, if they got rid of they trying to eradicate their black asses, what do you think they gonna do to you? All them fucking kangaroos with wings and shit. I'm talking shit. All that crazy shit. Everybody trying to go to Australia, bro. At all, man. He going over there for the chili. And you gonna be disingenuous about it? Oh, if I fought in that, man, Jerry didn't want your black ass there. After what he seen what Bud did, you don't let that boy Earl step foot in my arena again. I don't even want him on the practice field. I don't want the nigga cutting my lawn.
What are you going to do if he tries to shake your hand?
I mean, I'm not going to do nothing. I mean, Tszyu got a tango and hold his hand out. So if he try to, I don't think he's going to do it. He's not going to do it. He knows he ain't going to do it.
Why is it so personal with you two?
I mean, it's not personal. It's just, man, we're going to fight. And, like, I understand him trying to be a quote-unquote gentleman, but that's not the facts, because, like, he done said stuff about him, you know, taking my eye and, you know, breaking it and all this type of stuff, saying this, and then you want to shake my hand. It was like, you trying to take my eyesight, but now you want to shake my hands and be friends or whatever. Like, I don't want to shake your hand. Like, you saying all this type of stuff about me, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do... Okay, you're going to beat me like Fundora did Keith Thurman, and you're going to retire me and all this and that. Like, I'm not trying to shake your hand, bro. Like you said what you said, now stand on it.
I told people the question that was presented to me is this mind games coming from Errol. I said, Errol's not really the mind game kind of guy.
Yeah.
Is it mind games, or is it like...
It's no mind game. I don't play mind games, you know, bro. I don't play no mind games. Like, it's how I feel. Like, I don't want to shake your hand, bro.
Just keep the same energy before. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to shake your hand, bro. It's just what it is. There's no mind game. I don't play mind.
You know, I think, you know, Tszyu is trying to sell the fight, but I get it. You know, somebody trying to bring bodily harm, you in defense mode. You know, people talking reckless too. I get them. I feel them on that. You know. Yeah, don't shake my hand after the fight. After I beat your ass, we can shake hands. You know, but I mean, shit. Let's go. That's more for you. Metro Boomin want some more, nigga.
Is it all for the cameras, or you know, I'm not just, I don't like the bloke, I'm not shaking his hand?
I didn't feel like shaking his hand because he's one of those guys, like, he talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know, behind the scenes, saying how he's gonna stop me and how he's gonna knock me out and do me like Fundora did Keith Thurman and things like that, and then you want to shake my hand. Like, why would I want to shake your hand? You talking about you gonna retire me, you gonna punish me and beat me. So I like, save it for after the fight. It's fight time, it's time to fight. Like, I'm not looking to be your friend, not trying to shake your hand. We going to war, so let's go to war.
All right. Oh, you know, me, I see it on that hill. He going down that hill. I ain't mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Might have a little bit more, then I kind of give my thoughts on the fight, answer any questions. So this Ronnie shot the Fight Hub. TV shot the Marcos Villegas. So let's go.
You know, he said, hey, if I was to come out and lose, my career's over. I'm done. There's no sense in me trying to push for what. You know, he has to satisfy, this is for him. He's satisfying himself. If he wins, he may or may not say, I'm gonna do another fight. He may say, you know what, that's it. I'm satisfied to where I ended. Excuse me. And if he wins it, he's gonna assess himself, by himself, you know what, I think I could do this again. I wanna do another one. If not, and even if he wins, he say, you know what, I'm done. That's it. I'm satisfied with what I accomplished. And, you know, it's all about self-accomplishment.
A storm is headed down.
All right. So, I mean, you know, it's all about self-accomplishment. That's what he said. You know, if I win, I may not fight in. If I don't, I mean, the more and more you look about it, bro, they're not speaking with confidence. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're not speaking with confidence, and that may not mean nothing. You know, that may or may not mean nothing, honestly. So I can't really call it, but in general, a lot of people saying Errol isn't, you know, sounding confident. Errol, you know, is cashing out, and only Saturday night is gonna tell. I mean, we see Danny Garcia take a knee, to do his own fight at the Barclays Center. You know, and the thing about it for me is a lot of people believe that like there's a talent gap between Tszyu, and I'm just about to get my synopsis on the fight and wrap it up. Any questions I answer. A lot of people believe there's this talent gap between Tszyu and Errol Spence. I don't see a huge talent gap, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people think that Errol Spence is far superior than Tszyu. I mean, they both, you know, they both is on the down slope of their careers. You know, I just really never thought Errol Spence was that, if that's so, a better fighter than Tszyu. He was a bigger guy who didn't look as great at 54. They cut him down to 7 more pounds, and if Lubin could have cut down 7 more pounds, maybe Lubin could have had the same career, if not a better career, you know, than Errol Spence. I mean, when people talk about Spence, a lot of mistakes being made. You know, now he talking about moving his head and possibly one of his last fights. You know, he throw that left hand, he square up. You seen the Ugas fight. Every mistake that he made versus Bud, he paid for it. These are mistakes that he's been making that they match made him. Remember, Kenny Porter said that he was protected a long time ago. They match made him. I mean, he just reminds me, maybe he's bigger. He seems to be a little bit taller than Tszyu, right? But as far as like punching power, bro, like he looks strong at 160. I've seen him in the past. He looks strong. You know, but as far as like boxing ability and athletic, I don't really see a huge gap here. I've said it all the time. I think Tszyu might naturally have a heavier punch. You know, Earl got a really good jab, and you know, but you know, I don't, like I said, styles make fight, but I don't see Errol Spence doing what Tszyu was doing versus Fondor before he hit his head on Fondor's elbow. I don't really see him having that ability. You know what I'm saying? I really don't see him really boxing like that. I mean, I just never was that high on the guy, you know, for, you know, when I really seen for what it was. So it'll be an interesting fight. If you win the fight, it's going to be jab dominant. And Ronnie probably, you know, kind of put a little bit more bend in his legs. But even some pad work I seen early on, I think Tarver was saying it as well. Hold on, my bad. I don't know what. Yeah, he was standing too high. You know, a lot of the mistakes that he make that people don't point out. You know, he was on the inside versus Sean Porter. He's standing straight up. You know, when you on the inside with a guy like Sean Porter, you standing straight up. Like, bro, how you gonna really dig into those shots on the inside? This is dude not that good, bro. Just keep it a bean. There's a lot of fundamentals that's lacking there, bro. When he's fighting Mikey Garcia, and I said Mikey Garcia was a more fundamental fighter. I said that years ago, bro. He lacks a lot of basic fundamentals, bro. Basic head movement, basic, you know, just touch. When he throw punches, he squares body up into punches. You know what I'm saying? Don't got a great hook. You know, his jab, you know, that's the number one thing. If you Tim Tszyu, one thing you want to do is you want to be able to take that jab away. You take the jab away, you win the fight. Simple as that. You take that jab away, you win the fight. Now, how you do that is up to you. You know, Crawford established his jab. He established a power jab. You know, similar to Triple G was famous for throwing a jab and where he's stepping through. You know, he's established a jab where he's punching through the target. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's up to him to establish that. What do you want to do? Are you going to just counter him, come over the top of his jab? Are you going to out jab him? Are you going to look to counter the jab underneath? Or are you going to look to overwhelm him? You know, people saying he need to jump on Errol Spence expeditiously. I mean, that might be a fair assessment where you just jump on him and do all of that. And he ain't been in the ring in a long time. But do you want to come straight down the line with a guy that's known to throw a really good jab and a good straight left hand? That's up to you, you know? But you can take some things that Crawford did, but one thing about it, habits gonna show. Remember Wilder versus Fury 3. You seen a little wrinkle first 2 or 3 rounds. After that, you know, he reverted back to what his habits gonna show. He gonna throw a punch, overcommit to a punch, he gonna square up. All right. You know, he gonna throw that consistent jab. He gonna go to the body. You can get him on the inside. He ain't gonna dig. He not gonna dig on the inside. When you're on the inside, if I'm Tim Tszyu, I'm really, you know, thinking about just pivoting, using the angle, and hitting him with an uppercut on the inside. Errol Spence stand on the inside like a broomstick. I'm really looking at dropping the weight, you know, touching the body, using the angles. You know what I'm saying? Taking away the jab. You know, baiting him and throw that left hand so I can counter him. He gonna square up. I mean, Errol Spence to me, when I look at him stand by side in his defense, he looks like the physically more superior fighter, to be honest. Physically, he looks taller, he looks stronger from what I've seen hitting the pads. But ultimately, you know, how is his body gonna take the work? Tim Tszyu been active. You know, Tim Tszyu been active. So as much as I heard somebody say, well, Tim Tszyu need to jump on Errol Spence quick. And if I'm Errol Spence, I'm thinking about jumping on Tim Tszyu quick. I'm thinking about coming out there, taking it straight to Tim Tszyu. We seen Tim Tszyu dropped early on. So if I'm Errol Spence, the number one thing I'm looking to do is establish distance with my jab, establish dominance. I'm establishing that body work. Tim Tszyu take 2 or 3 rounds to wake up. So if I can establish my jab and establish touching him to the body, maybe he won't be able to break that distance. You know, Tim Tszyu ain't gonna really move his head like that neither. So really jabbing at the chest, jabbing at his head, ripping, touching that body. So when if it come 8, 9, 10, come to those attrition rounds, I done put that body work in where, you know, he can't step up. But Tim Tszyu got a leg up in a lot of categories. Activity. He got a leg up. He been fighting. He at home. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's like they just drug EJ here to lose. And then, you know, you always talking about retiring, or maybe a fighter or 2 left, or 2 or 3 fights after this, or maybe this is my last fight. I mean, that's cool, but that ain't what we here. We here to talk about winning. Why are we here talking about this the last dance? We talking about winning. We didn't come over here just for a check, did we? We came over here to win. Oh, you know, he's saying this and we come over here to win. We ain't trained to lose. And if we felt like we was going to lose, and if your daddy care about you, if your trainer care about you, cut this shit. You say, hey, we're going to go ahead and cancel this shit. You know, he done. We got to cancel this shit. Or is it for the love of money? It's going to be a lot to be discussed on Saturday. There's a lot of boxing coming on Saturday. It's going to have to be discussed on. Errol Spence may win this fight. It may be both them motherfuckers should retire. You know, It may be they both look like they ain't have shit left. I can't call it. I can't give you a definitive winner because I wasn't inside Errol Spence's camp, and I ain't been watching Tszyu camp and watching what he did and been watching what he do. So I literally can't tell y'all that. But what I can tell you is this. I'm thinking that Errol Spence is somewhere on this hierarchy, even in his prime, above Tszyu is nah. I've been saying that for a long time, bro. No. No. And I know people disagree with me. Watch the tape. Watch the tape. They are, you know, they are microcosms. They are reflections of each other in a lot of different ways, bro. You know, and that's it. That's my opinion. But we'll see. Spence make a lot of fundamental mistakes. He makes a lot of mistakes. And a lot of mistakes he was able to get away with because he was bigger. He was bigger and stronger than the guys that, well, if you watch this come up at 54, it's a reason they made that boy squeeze down to 147 pounds. It's a reason. You know, and a lot of people, I said, man, there ain't no skill gap here. If Errol Spence is going to win, he's going to be the more athletic, more crisp fighter, the stronger fighter. That weight gain going to help him out. You know, he got to change the weight. That's another red flag. You know, he may not make I don't know, man. You know, he's one of those fighters that can get away with, you know, doing a money grab. He can get away with doing a money grab and nobody bats an eye. He got the promoter behind him. But if we go into war, we ain't talking about losing, bro. I'm not talking about losing, bro. You know, if we talking about losing already, bro. You done lost, but you know, Friday you got Tyson Fury versus Walk. Don't give a hell about it. Joshua, don't give a hell about it. He fights Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. So I don't know where they fighting at. Joshua fighting some dude on this. Don't care about it. Then doing Errol Spence 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then Berlanga Hitchison struggled to sell out a 5,000 arena on Paramount. You know, I mean, I may not watch that on Saturday, bro. I got to be up in the morning, so probably not. Pierce O'Leary and Mark Chamberlain in Dublin, Ireland, August 1st. Lamar Rose Cepeda, August 1st. Chernika Johnson and Dina Thorsalon, ESPN Plus, ESPN Saturday, April. Man, pack ESPN up. Pack ESPN up, man. They ain't got shit good on ESPN. They should just cancel that shit. Carson Shields versus K. Scott, Atlanta State Farm Arena, August 15th, 9 p.m. Serrano versus Larisha Mansour, TikTok Live. So that should be interesting. I might see what the TikTok Live hitting for. Michaela Mayer versus Chantel Cameron, ESPN Plus Sky Sports, August 20. Yeah, August is just most of the time of Filip Hargovich. That's a good fight. I like to see it. Lester Martinez and Luke Plantic, Pro Box. I don't know much about Luke. Might watch it. Ben Whitaker, Connor Wallace, October 3rd. So there ain't really shit going on, to be honest. Let me go one more month. So no more events loading, right? So if I had to say anything I'm looking forward to, I guess watching Serrano on TikTok Live, Moses Atama, and Filip Hargovich.